Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, my name is Shoaib and you guys are watching me on my YouTube channel Shoaib Honey with the purpose of reshaping your career, reshaping your future. You must have seen the title that all the grasses are not green in Ireland. There's no doubt Ireland is the greenest country on the planet. But here I'm talking about the crisis and accommodation crisis, which is a huge discussion over the past decade, but this time it's getting more worse and worse and worse. Just see this video about the asylum seekers.
The Taoiseach has insisted efforts are being made in difficult and challenging circumstances to provide accommodation to asylum seekers. Simon Harris made the remarks after a number of international protection applicants slept in tents on the grounds of a Dublin church last night, as no state accommodation was offered to the men. The latest figures show there are now almost 1,700 male asylum seekers without an offer of state accommodation.
Just before 8 this morning, a group of asylum seekers began packing up their tents and belongings after spending the night in a park adjacent to St Mary's Church in Ballsbridge. The men who were without accommodation were given permission to stay on the church grounds for one night.
IPAS, the accommodation service, does have contact details for all of those people. It is working to try and provide accommodation solutions for those people. I think what we saw in St Mary's last night was a temporary thing being done by people who I think were being very humane in terms of trying to provide assistance on property that wasn't public.
At the International Protection Office on Mount Street today, a mix of men awaiting accommodation and newly arrived asylum seekers.
I resorted into going to sleep in a church because for a couple of days when I first came in, I was sleeping in the tents, but just because of the cold, I couldn't really manage. So that's why I decided to go to the church.
So last night I left UK.
And what are you hoping for here in Ireland?
So here I just come to make my new asylum in Ireland.
One of the international protection applicants who we spoke to this morning off camera said he was aware of a number of men sleeping rough in tents in the city centre last night as they had no other accommodation available to them. While a young couple who arrived here with a baby this morning were directed to City West to source accommodation there. Department of Integration figures show there are 1,676 male asylum seekers without offers of state-provided accommodation as of this afternoon. 127 new male applicants presented this week alone. Groups working with homeless people say the figures look set to keep rising.
The project on Mount Street on Wednesday solved the problem on Mount Street. People continue to arrive. This is a problem that will continue to grow. We need to find a longer-term solution. We need to find a solution for accommodation so that people are prevented from sleeping rough in the city centre altogether.
The Taoiseach also said today people's families and homes should be out of bounds following an anti-immigration protest outside his house in County Wicklow last night. Simon Harris said it was bedtime for his children when the incident occurred, which he described as not appropriate. For Gal O'Brien, RTE News.
Now, why I showed you this video? Because asylum seekers are the ones who are most privileged once they come here. Even if you ask them that once they are captured in France or Germany or Italy, and they are forced to apply asylum there, but they will not apply. They are dying to come Ireland because they have been given more rights. Once they are sorted, they get the rights of work, the accommodation is free, housing is free, their family's education, everything is there. So they basically die to come here and they get the privilege here. But once they are not being given this time accommodation and the government's hands are tight, lips are sealed, then what about you guys if you come as a without planning? Another news, you can see that the UCC professor has been fired due to not having accommodation, even if it was unfair dismissal, and he has been awarded 300k, which is nearly 9 crore Pakistani rupees. So if you come without planning, you will be landed on the road. But through this channel, I'm going to help you and make you ready that how you can secure an accommodation. We will be discussing what are the resources and the sources you can have before you come to Ireland, what options you should touch before you come to Ireland, how can you secure the accommodation, because job is a secondary options and a person can get job sometime easily, sometime with a struggle, but accommodation people are suffering around. Even those who are senior citizens, okay, people like us who are here more than 15 years, sometimes they struggle for the accommodation. So if you guys are coming without planning, you will really suffer. So let's talk about students accommodations types or the type of accommodation. So the first and foremost is the private rented accommodation, which can be shared accommodation. As a student, if you are having a less budget or your plan is to share the accommodation, so that could be a best option for you. you can, or the one who's already having rented premises, or those who are planning to rent and you are in connection with them, they can rent house or the accommodation and you can share with them. In near future, I'm going to show you the privately rented accommodation, that how many rooms could be there, how can you share, and what are the options available for you. If you are coming as a couple, whether on job or as a student, then this can also be the option in these days, because getting the privately rented accommodation on your own, it can be very expensive. Because a single room can be now this time 1800 euro if you are planning to live in city centers. I'm not joking. It used to be in the past 1100 a studio apartment, but now it is more than 1600 euro. Okay, those who are living there know that. And the second type of accommodation is university hall residency, or the accommodations provided by the universities or the colleges. And in English Talks, we are having 3 residencies provided to our students, but they all depend on the short-term lease. We cannot give guarantee to the students for the longer term. We always provide only 4 weeks accommodation, but sometimes students, they request more. We can go a bit more, but not because our students are coming on every month basis. And the third type is Irish host families. Our students, we keep normally with the Irish host families. Again, there is a halal and haram options, because sometimes the students are coming from the Muslim countries. We provide them the halal food, which we normally force our Irish families to provide them, which is even costly for us. But even you can approach them. So I'm going to show you in near future that I will be visiting one of our Irish host family, and they will show us that how they keep our students and what food they provide if we ask them to. If they are from non-halal, for example, if they are non-Muslim, then we don't care, even they don't care. They eat whatever they provide. But if it is the students are from a halal country or the Muslim background, then we ask our host families to provide them halal food, and that is definitely a little bit extra cost. And then if you don't find anything, then the alternative option is the students hostels. I will make again a video by visiting them, then you can have a better idea that how can you go there and what options you can have to get these accommodation, which is definitely going to be challenging, but make sure that you are ready for these challenges. If you have planned before, then you will have less hassles rather than you come without plan. Okay, so now let's talk about securing an accommodation options, whichever is good for you, whatever you think, whatever you plan, according to your budget, but it's going to be really mission impossible for you. So there are so many online platforms which you can touch. For example, Tout.ie, Property.ie, Rent.ie, and there are so many groups on Facebook. Like if you're from Pakistan, search Pakistanis in Ireland, Indians in Ireland, Brazilian Ireland, South American, South African. There are so many people, they have made their groups on WhatsApp and on their Facebook. I'm gonna give you some links. So before you come, once you get a good news that you have approved your visa and now you are ready to fly Ireland, make sure you do your arrangement. Otherwise, it would be like me or like other guys, okay, who came without preparation and they were wandering here and there, and it took a lot of time to secure an accommodation. Otherwise, you would be changing house to house after every 2 months or 3 months if you are not planned. But my suggestion is that once you start making calls or emails to Daft.ie, Rent.ie, Property.ie, or these, the online platform, they will not be replying, because if last time when we were being kicked out from our accommodation and a letting agent was with us and they told that, look, Shavi, you will not be getting a reply because they are normally getting even 20,000 emails per hour. So it's very hard for them to reply everyone. So my request and my suggestion is that before you come, make your arrangements, especially these online Facebook groups, because you will find your country mate, your city mate, they will help you. Okay, and if you are from Muslim country, try to find some mosques. Okay, try to contact people them. Okay, they will try to help you as well. Once you even landing in Ireland without preparation, okay, try to go to mosque. Okay, they will help you. They might that find something, a quick solution for you, a temporary solution for you, but before you come, touch these accommodation. Okay, so one thing you should be very careful about, the scam. Yes, you should avoid a rental scam which is going on in Ireland, because these people who are sitting out of Ireland, even in Ireland, they know that you guys are suffering from very shortage of the accommodation, so they try to cheat. And those who are in desperate need, they are ready to pay whatever they demand. Even sometimes when you go for renting an accommodation or the room or the house, any property, there are so many people, they are bargaining with the landlords that I'm ready to pay 2 months advance, 2 months rent, and then accommodation is given to different people. So Whenever you are ready to take accommodation, be sure that you are paying to a genuine landlord. Don't pay anything when the lease is e-lease, okay? Always try to transfer your money in a secure bank account. Try to go personally and visit the accommodation. Don't just transfer the money because it could be a scam. There are lots of students in the past, they told us that once they transfer the money and they go to the accommodation center or accommodation or house, but they couldn't find anything. And there are people who told that once they reach, the landlord says, sorry, I did not advertise, and you are third or fourth person or even 12th person who came here, and I'm going to report to Guardi and this and that. So be sure that you are paying to a genuine landlord. So always check with some fellow beings or those who are senior in Ireland about the things before you come in Ireland. Be careful about this thing. I hope this video will be helping hand for you guys in terms of finding and securing a secure accommodation. Make sure that you try to find your accommodation nearest to the colleges and universities, and especially to the mosques, so that you will save your iman as well and you will save your time as well. And it should be within the amenities. It will be a lots of saving of your time. In the near future, hopefully by the next video, I will be personally visiting the host families and the private rented accommodation and universities and colleges provided accommodation, so that you will have better idea to make decision. See you in the next video. Bye.